Today on In the Wood Yard, I've got a pile of cherry wood back here and somebody wants it, and it's better than oak, and I'm going to tell you why coming up right now. Okay, so maybe cherry isn't the best, but I like it the best. The reason I like it right now in the wood yard is because I don't have any oak. The customer I'm going to be delivering wood to this morning wanted oak. He always gets oak. He always gets one face coat every year, and he calls and says, "Hey, I'm ready for some more oak." I said, "Hey, I don't have any." He says, "Oh, what am I going to do?" I said, "Well, you're going to burn something else this year." And he just laughed. He's a real good guy. And he says, "Hey, you know, I've been buying wood from you now for like 6 years." And he said, "Everything you bring me has been fantastic. It burns great." And he said, "I trust you. Whatever you bring will be fine." I said, "Well, I've got ash, I've got maple, I've got cherry, I've got birch, or I could do a mix of stuff." He said, "Well, whatever you think is good like oak." I said, "It's all good. It'll all burn great. And it's just for a fireplace, so he's not heating with it." And I said, "I personally like cherry the best." So he said, "Why is that?" And I told him, I said, "Well, number one, it's easier to cut. It's not as hard as oak. It's not as heavy as oak. It splits easier. It dries faster. It smells better. It burns easier in a fireplace. So when you put it in, it doesn't take as long to get going. It has a nicer flame. It's kind of a bluish green flame. The bark has some type of an accelerant in it, similar to what birch has, that it burns easier. I just like it a lot better. I think it smells fantastic. It's my favorite smelling wood, you know, because every wood has its own smell. I said, "So that's my favorite." And I said, "That's what I'm bringing." He said, "Sounds great." So he was all happy with that. So we're going to load that up. Now, I'm going to talk about something that happened today that I'm going to bring up because you guys might be interested in this. It's the Christmas season, as all of you know, and I made a huge mistake today. I am not a shopper. I don't shop. I buy stuff. If I need something, I go get it and I leave. I don't walk around the store in a daze looking at stuff like, "Oh, that's cool, oh, that's neat." I'm not that guy. If I need something, I go get it and I leave. I don't grocery shop. I just don't shop. But I needed to pick something up this morning, about a $30 item. I thought, well, I'll run into one of our local stores here. It's called Fleet Farm. It's like a store. It's a man's mall is what we call it. It's got everything that you could want and need. Everything from tools to automotive stuff, outdoor stuff, hunting, fishing. They've got clothes. They've got some food, but a little bit of everything. It's basically a store that has all the stuff that I want. So I stopped there thinking, "Oh, I can get something." Well, I didn't realize it's the Christmas shopping season, and the parking lot was full. And I thought, well, I'll just run in quick and I'll grab the thing I need and I'll leave. Well, I get in there and I grabbed the thing I wanted, got to the checkouts, and then I realized that I made a huge mistake. The checkout lines, they had those the cattle gate things up, so you could only get in one way. I call them cattle gates because it's kind of like they're herding cattle in, because this is what they're doing. But the shortest line I could find had to have at least 20 people in it. So I stood there for maybe 15 seconds and nobody was moving in any of the lines. So I went back to where I got the item because it was pretty close to the checkout, set it down. I walked out, got the heck out of there. And I came out here where there's no people. Much better. Like a lot of you, the reason I work doing firewood and like being outside is there's no people. So there's that. So that was my mistake of the day. And I'm thinking to myself as I'm driving away, all these people that are standing in line wasting their whole day when they could be out here. It's 40 degrees today. There's no wind, very little. Sun is shining, birds are singing. You heard the geese just fly over. It's a beautiful day to be outside, and they're all standing inside in line trying to save a few dollars. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I just don't get it, but I'm weird that way. Okay, we're gonna throw some of this wood in right now. We're gonna go deliver it. So this cherry was cut and split way back, not quite a year ago. Probably last February, I wanna say. Bo and I did this, and it's been sitting out here in the open, the sunshine now for a long time, and it's very dry. It's really good stuff. The questions that have come up lately have been some good ones. And one guy asked me not long ago, how come I haven't covered my wood yet? How come because usually every fall I cover it before it snows. And I have not covered any wood yet this year because I'm trying to sell it all. I want all this wood to sell so I don't have to move it out to the farm to the new wood yard. And if I have some left over, I am going to have to move it out of here. So I'm not going to cover anything. So I may end up getting some wood that gets snowed on, and I'll just dig it out. Don't move it. But yeah, I'm not going to cover anything this year. Well, yet anyway. I mean, I might eventually once we get everything moved to the farm, to the new wood yard. Now this cherry is from a load of wood that I bought. And for cherry, for me, it's actually kind of hard to get. So whenever my logger has some and he tells me that he's got some, I usually try to get it right away because I do like it that much. And it's pretty easy to sell because a lot of my customers I have converted into wanting cherry instead of oak because of burning it in a fireplace. It does burn really nice. And the few people that I converted right away still are asking for cherry because they said they like it better than oak too for a fireplace because it's easier to burn and has a real nice flame to it, so I like it. But if you're a heating person and you want wood for heat, you're probably going to want oak, or you're going to want locust, or you're going to want something in whatever's in your area that's the highest BTU, and that is an issue. I mean, if you want to get the most bang for your buck, you're going to want something that puts out as much BTUs as possible. And like for the coast guys, that's going to be Doug fir. And if you're in the southwest, it's going to be pinyon pine. And yes, pine, that's what they burn. Pinyon pine puts out almost as much BTUs as oak does. So it's real close, actually. It's a very dense wood, and that's what they use. And for those of you on the East Coast, guys that think you can't burn pine, well, that's what they burn out west, pine, because that's what they have. And their houses don't explode when they burn it. It's good stuff. So we're going to speed this up a little bit now, make things go a little faster on the wood chucking. So there it is, the wood is in. I did put the wheelbarrow in because this is a customer that has me stack the wood all the time. I can usually back up pretty close to the rack, but I take the wheelbarrow just in case. I think the lawn is going to be a little soft because this is what it looks like here today. Mud. Look at that. Everything is turned into mud because we had a couple inches of snow, but it all melted. And then we had a little more dusting of snow and then that melted. So you can see here, everything's getting all mucky here. And now that my wood yard doesn't have any gravel here anymore, it's kind of getting soupy. And I got a guy coming, it's tomorrow or the next day, he's coming to buy some more cookies from back there. I'm afraid to even drive back there because that's all getting really soft back there again now. So we might end up going to this cookie bin, which is right off of the gravel, which I still have gravel right to here. But down in there is none. So it's going to be pretty greasy, I think, the next couple days. So it might be kind of messy. So well, we're going to go down the road. We're going to go deliver this and we're going to stack this. And again, question comes up once in a while, you know, do I stack? Yes, I do. Do I charge for it? Yes, I do. This load's going to be $120, and then it's going to be a $25 delivery fee because he's like 16 miles away. And then to stack, it's another 20 bucks. So it's going to be 165 bucks. That's what it's going to be for this load. So that's what I get. And I don't really like to stack. It takes a lot of extra time and effort. I'd rather just dump it and go. But there are people that want it stacked. I've got several guys that buy a full cord every year and I stack it every year for them. One guy in particular, I can back right to where he wants it. It's a cement slab and I charge 60 bucks to stack it. And it usually takes me about 40-45 minutes to stack it because I have the trailer there. I just tip it up. It just comes to me from the trailer because I have it up in the air, so it just slides down and I stack it right there. So if you figure out your time per hour, it's probably 80 bucks an hour, something like that, which is pretty good, I guess. It's better than sitting home watching sports, or my son calls it sports ball. Okay, we're going on the road and deliver this. Okay, so you can see it's a lot of wood. I always a little bit over deliver is what I do. Here we go. It's covered. So there it is in the rack. I always put the cover back on. The wood back here is the wood that was in the rack. I took out and I told them burn that first. I always try to rotate stock for people when I deliver wood. And this is it's a heaping pile, so over delivered once again. But there it is. It's cherry. It's in the rack. That is it. That's all I've got time for today. I got to go home and do some other work. So you're going to poke some buttons right now. And tomorrow I'll be back in the wood yard 5:30 a.m. with another video for you to watch. Between now and then, go to my channel. There's 899.9 videos for you to watch. Something like that. Good night, everybody.